well, ideally you want to save the Zarya Diva ulti combo to wipe the team.
We're back into the fight here. So that was the Earth Shatter came down. The Graviton followed up. I'd be a little bit disoriented right now if I'm these guys. So Manneten goes for another Graviton, and it doesn't actually amount to much. So Earth Shatter, Graviton committed to the fight.
Yeah, got to be feeling for Misfits in this scenario, using 2 high-profile ultimates, not really getting too much out of it. Tranquility was coming out from Shaz there to try and salvage the fight, and Nesh is definitely putting in the damage where it hurts for Misfits, claiming 2 kills for his team. Going to be getting the D-Mech, and imagine staggering TviQ. Oh no, just going to end his life. Quite merciful of them, actually, to be honest.
Not stalling him out for too long now, are they all? So getting close towards his second point here as well. It sucks we couldn't really get to see, I guess, exactly how that fight happened, because again, like both these two teams are putting these big ults in there as well, and they're having situations where they're not amounting to too much at all. That's not ideal, but there's going to be another chance here for Misfits to try and defend this out. But Fischer's doing pretty well. He'd have to be pretty well charged up right now as well. Seeing how his numbers are actually ticking up, I'd have to say that's probably correct. Nevix comes in though as well. It's a little bit of a point blank, I guess, attempt at a Helix rocket, gets Fischer down, but that's all. And there's 2 minutes 42 on the clock now, Misfits to hold this last stretch.
Yes, Snizzlenose blocked the backline on the left side, and Fischer and ChrisTFer just went ham on the enemy tanks and got a huge charge, and then they snowballed the fight there.
Reinforced knew we had to sort of commit that ultimate there because Hammers were actually starting to stagger out these players from Misfits, and they weren't able to get back in time. Nicely done. That's a home run for Reinforced. He's connected with that well. Nesh drops down straight into that damage, and now Misfits have a chance to establish. And look at this. This is good aggressive positioning. They've forced Hammers back. If they hadn't come forward, Hammers would have tried to ride the payload with 3.
And ChrisTFer's still got his Earth Shatter available to them. Fischer also holding onto that Graviton Surge fairly shortly. He's about 8% away from that, so they're going to have these very high-impact ultimates across the board pretty soon. Just holding on top of the payload right now. ChrisTFer's definitely searching for the opportunity. Goes for the charge onto Reinforce, and the Earth Shatter connects onto 3. Postmore's going to be committed alongside the Graviton Searcher, using a whole host of ultimates to try and win that one. Unreal.
However, the big commission of ultimates paid off Zappos. That's what's important. They managed to, they pretty much managed to wipe that fight out there. They had that transcendence. Do you feel like that's a lot to commit to that fight? You have a Graviton and Earth Shatter there, or do you think it's reasonable to spend so much at this stage?
Yeah, Fischer was a bit too trigger happy there. I don't think he saw the Earth Shatter was that huge, and then he used the Zarya ulti there, but it was definitely not needed.
Well, let's see now how Misfits trying to exacerbate this issue, because they've got some ultimates to work with themselves. The sound barrier's come down, the transcendence for Hammers, so both teams have used their, corresponding support ultimates, and that's Manneten coming in. That could have been another Eden one as well, but he goes for it regardless. Self-destruct heads on up. That's actually coming from Snizzlenose. Nothing connects. Reinforced with an Earth Shatter. Guess what? Another shield's in the way. Now he's trying to charge. He catches ChrisTFer on the way through. A little bit of extra damage will get him across the line, but still, Hammers are fighting well in this one. Misfits have used a lot of these ultimates a little bit frivolously here, and it might bite them in the rear end.
This is looking excellent for them right now. Disco Orbs on point. Manneten's getting a lot of charge and putting in the damage. Hammers, however, are trying to fight back to the best of their abilities, even moving forward as we stand. Right now, ChrisTFer's playing very aggressively into the Manneten in a bit of trouble. He's on 39 HP. He's played very careful, but the rest of his team have finally respawned, and he's going to get the double kill, possibly even the triple, as the rest of his team are just swarming onto the point and stopping Hammers from even contesting it. 30 seconds left.
Unbelievable. Manneten fights back. He was so low. You saw it. I think it was a right click that actually claimed him 2 kills there.
Crazy.
That's freakish.
If you survive with Zarya and you have like above 50 energy, you're beasting in the team fight.
You're like an insane duelist right there as well, especially when it gets to that late fight if the Zaryas are still alive. Self-destruct's going to come in from the back. Can Hammers disengage from this properly? It seems as if they can, but they've been split. ChrisTFer gets himself caught out. Graviton comes in here for Hammers, catches most of them together, but Misfits are able to respond and recover. Transcendence comes out from both sides of the fight, and Nevix is going in for a pulse bomb. This is a solo mission. Mission impossible? Perhaps. It's not going to quite connect on towards that one. Shaz is able to escape it now. Nesh has also found a kill along with Snizzlenose, so Nevix had so much on his plate, but it's not enough, and now it's going to be his own self-destruct coming in over the top. Doesn't find anything, but it's bought some time. We're in overtime now for Misfits to try and stop this, Brent.
Absolutely ridiculous so far. Overtime moving in. Hammers are so close. It's being staggered out right now by Mr. TviQ. He's on the point, going to get D-Mech'd out of it. Earth Shatter comes down just to seal the deal. The players are roaming in right now for Misfits, but is it enough? Still going to all of these countering rolls, trying to stall it out for as long as they possibly can. Hammers, however, coming out on top, ticking it over. It's going to be going in, and I've got to say, somewhere in the midst of that fight, Manneten's Grav got 8 up by the Diva defense matrix. Complete turning point. Hammers, they just won the fight off the back of it.
That was a mutual Grav use. I think both teams
used Gravs,
right?
And Manneten's got 8.
So, like, here's the thing, right? If you hear 2 sound cues of Zaryas grabbing, it's very hard to see. So
exactly.
I missed it. I don't blame if you guys did as well there, but both teams tried to grab each other. But, like, I mean, Rogue maybe could have, Misfits maybe could have won out that fight. The problem is that they're both Zenyattles also used trance in that fight.
Yeah. And that's why the Diva Zarya combo is so strong in this kind of competitions, like before the last Zarya ulti, actually Nevix's pulse bomb was eaten by Snizzlenose as well. So either you can eat the Zarya ultimate or you can eat the Tracer bomb if you run the Tracer Zarya combo. But with D.Va, you can't eat the bomb. So it's really strong combo if you execute it well.
This did seem like a game, though, that was kind of characterized by a lot of errors from both of these two teams. Like, it's definitely not something that we'd say was very clean. It was an overtime finish as well. But does that look a bit rusty when you cast your eye over this as well? And especially, you guys played a similar style to this, maybe without the D.Va and you had the Roadhog instead with your triple tank days. Did it seem to you a little bit messy? A few missed ults there as well, costing?
Yeah, this team it always looked like kind of prolish because. It's designed to face the Reinhardts against each other, and then you would try to outplay the enemy team with your Zarya bubbles and D.Va matrixes. And then to finish the team fights, you need well-executed Zarya, D.Va comps, ulti combos, or a good Reinhardt stun. And it was kind of scrappy on both teams, but in the end, Hammers went through.
They did eventually. TviQ there as well, who is possibly one of the most driven players I've ever really encountered. It's quite funny. He actually... he makes jokes a lot. He's a bit of a memer, but when he gets in the game, like, he's very, very serious. He just does not mess around at all. I remember I was in China and most of the Rogue boys were sort of done for the day. They were ready to. Back at the time he was in Rogue, they were sort of ready to finish up. And TviQ stayed inside this internet cafe practicing, just grinding rank for the next 4 hours while I was there. Crazy after seeing already left there as well. He's dedicated, but what he said to me is that what I love most about this team is that we all agree on that, on how that's how we want to practice. But I mean, let's be honest, this team has not shot up to lofty heights just because they've got such a strong, all the same nationality lineup. These guys have had a tough rise, and even still, they're maybe sort of a steady team, but they're definitely not, one of the most dominant teams in this group, for example. Exactly.
It's funny enough, like a lot of people coming into this event, maybe a bit unfamiliar with the EU scene, definitely pinned Misfits as one of the top teams just because of their past performances. You can understand it, they're coming out on top on multiple tournaments before this actual event. But now coming into this one, EU has changed. The landscape has definitely changed. For one, a lot of these teams coming onto the market, I guess you could say. Movistar Riders, you've got Hammers coming out, ex-Cyclowns as well. Definitely contenders for this top spot, and there's of course all the old guard as well. So you got you guys, Zappis on NIP and whatnot. So tons of stacked talent in the EU scene. It's very hard for Misfits to kind of get an edgeways in.
Well, let's see how this one turns out, shall we? See what TviQ actually wants to work much with that Hanzo. But Hammer's not changing their composition much, except they got Snizzlenose on that Roadhog here as well. Was that just to try and shut down the push with the pick early?
No, this is a very common triple tank composition in the Hollywood First Point. Misfits run this exactly same combo in their last game as well. And this emphasizes more on the spam, on the Reinhardt shield, and then you get the hooks.
See how it works. Definitely easy to win out the shield battle, of course, with the scrap gun hitting so darn hard. Nevix here as well. He's on the Tracer this time as well. He's trying to find some of these early kills, but again, the first Reinhardt to fall is ChrisTFer. Unfortunately, it happened to him on the other side as well. The problem is this time is going to cost Hammers a lot more, and potentially the point as well. Shaz is just trying to do something about Nevix here. 2 shots is what it takes, or a bio grenade followed up with some damage will be enough, but he just gets plonked on the top of the head. And Misfits, it's a very successful attack.
Yeah, that's essentially all went downhill, didn't it? As soon as ChrisTFer fell, essentially they just fell like dominoes on the rest of the team in the Hammer squad. The Discord orbs were on them. They didn't have the shield to block off the line of sight. Fischer got absolutely destroyed, burnt away immediately from the sheer output of damage coming out from Misfits. And they build up a tiny bit of ultimate charge as well. Nevix is just holding on to this pulse bomb on the Tracer side, so they could potentially make some magic happen. You can definitely bring down a tank or two if you aim it correctly, and we can see Nevix now just sneaking up and down the point. He's looking for the target, Uber.
Yeah, again, like to stick this on the ChrisTFer as well and get rid of him early, but you know what? Reinforce just walks through the shield and lays down the Earth Shadow. What are you going to do about that? ChrisTFer, who was alive for it, he had to look on in dismay as Reinforce just walked in and took everything that he owned. Lovely fight from Misfits there as well. It's just, what are you going to do, mate? He walked through my shield. The whole backline of Hammers just got decimated.
Unfortunate, really unfortunate, and it's still equal ult charge on both these Reinhardt players as well, so they're not even missing out on the, I guess, the ultimate advantage of this.
That's filthy, that Reinforce uses his ult and gets half of it in the fight.
Crazy. Well, ultimates across the board here for Misfits as well to take this even further forward. Hammers do have a defensive support ultimate. tomzeY holding on to it, but it's going to be the grab. Very aggressive, catches a lot of them. Self-destruct coming in as well. This could be critical for them. It's a 4-man quadra kill. Unbelievable. Hammers have been destroyed.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, the Anvil seemed to be the stronger one in this occasion, and Misfits are laying it down. That's the combo you're looking for, of course. This is what Zappis mentioned earlier on. It's that Big combo, the Graviton Surge and the self-destruct. We'd like to see ourselves some of those 4-kill episodes and Hammers. I've been completely set back a little bit here. Now Reinforce going to stand in front of the shield again. He's got another Earth Shatter. This is so scary. Misfits have chained ultimate economy so nicely to have something available for every fight. Hammers, that's a preemptive Transcendence. Reinforce is going to look at that and go, okay, I'm going to try and Earth Shatter. Luckily, ChrisTFer had the shield bread.
That doesn't quite work out for them. It's going to bring out the Graviton Surge now from the side of Fischer. Hammers trying to recontest this. The picks are currently going into Misfits' favor, however. Shield's going to be popped up trying to keep them alive, but Fischer's going to get focused down by Nevix, still putting in a damage. Manneten on such high energy, already on 80%. A real wrecking ball for his team right now. He's just plowing through the opposition, and it will be a cap checkpoint.
Yeah, sick from him, fully charged as well. I think I thought Snizzle ate it. Manneten used the Graviton because I've got this weird echo in my ear, but no, he has it now as well, Zappers. It seems like Misfits always have a huge bank of ultimates at just the right time.
Yeah, they're really like effective on building, especially Zarya ultimates. Like you're gonna see so many Zarya ultimates with Manneten. Like I'd love to see the stats on how
it's crazy.
Like how many ultimates.
Zappers, why don't you guys play this sort of composition? You seem to obviously prefer to have Mafia on that Soldier 76 and go for a bit of a different approach. This would look closer to what you used to play, I suppose.
Yeah, but this composition isn't that great against triple DPS. But what?
Yep,
unbelievable.
That's going to hurt. Pulse Bomb was there as well, so TviQ didn't actually have the self-destruct there, so they weren't able to use it. We'll come back to that one, Zappers, as well. Might be interesting to discuss, but again, it's going to be another pretty comfortable cleanup here, and Misfits, again, committed a couple of ultimates. But here's the thing. When Reinforce doesn't have Earth Shatter, Manneten has Graviton. When Manneten doesn't have Graviton, Reinforce has Earth Shatter.
Yeah. The rotation of these crowd control ultimates is just on point for Misfits. They're playing so incredibly well. Manneten constantly on high energy. It's like having that, I guess, it's a second DPS player for you, but now here comes the initiation. Hammers moving in with the sound barrier. Earthshatter still available for ChrisTFer here. It needs to hit off for him. Doesn't quite connect. Reinforce are going to send out his. Doesn't match it either, but they're currently picking up the frags on either side, Uber.
Yeah, both takes it down. Reinforce and Snizzle have fallen. Shaz is sitting in the back line here with a Transcendence actually better to fire. This is quite big. He's been left unharmed for the most part, because Nevix went down so early in the fight as well. He couldn't really harass him out too much. Now we need to see a reset from Misfits to come back in, but guess what? They've still got some pretty big ultimates to be throwing into this. They really like to focus on the combo and, you constructively combining these ultimates.
Hammers are going to be having that Graviton Surge up in a moment as well. Fischer's about 5% away, but needs to be careful. TviQ actually sends out the self-destruct. It'll be the perfect time to be going in with one while the defense matrix is not available. It's going to be ChrisTFer finding the first kill onto Manneten, traded up evenly. Nesh going to be searching for that pulse bomb target, doesn't quite connect onto it. Sort of tranquility used by Hammers as well to delay this fight as much as they possibly can. ChrisTFer has the Earth Shatter, sends it down, it's connecting onto multiple enemies right now. The kills rolling in for Hammers. Absolutely unbelievable for them. 2 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. Still counting down. Are they going to be able to hold this?
The bait is so real. Please, sir, don't hurt me. I've got it on my shelf. I obviously don't have an Earth Shatter. And then he Earth Shatters at least 2 tanks there. That was nice from ChrisTFer.
Yeah, that was really big for ChrisTFer. They basically used one ultimate to wipe the whole team, and they managed to build other ultimates meanwhile. That was really huge.
Definitely activated his trap card. There's no doubt about it. Manneten no close to a Graviton Surge. TviQ used his ultimate earlier on that last fight. So, I mean, there's a little bit to work with here. Nevix needs to be working towards another pulse bomb. Tracer can sometimes be really difficult to work on this point because your flanking routes are really quite narrow, and it's obvious to see when he comes through there. That's the grab coming through there. Manneten is going to get caught up in that one. Fischer lets it go. He almost had a grab of his own, but he won't get to use it in this fight.
Okay, so essentially Misfits running in with basically no ultimates, trying to force out as many as they possibly can. They only use Fischer's Graviton Surge, and Fischer has been building these at a reasonable rate, not as fast as Manneten. I've got to say as well, Manneten's ult charge rate on Zarya, I want to see the stats of it compared to when people run Zarya's alongside Anna's, because this hasn't been with no nano boost or anything. It's been ridiculous. He's been pulling out these grabs time and time again.
Now, this is really important that Earth Shatter's available for Reinforce, because this is going to wreck any stall attempt from Hammers if Misfits can break in this particular fight. Manneten just soaks up the pulse from there as well and gets himself a little bit of energy, so I've really got to question that use of that from Nesh to try and throw it on the Zarya there.
Yeah, you need to force out the shift bubble, obviously, before you bomb the Zarya.
Okay, ChrisTFer moving in with the Earth Shatter is going to force out the sound barrier from Misfits. They're going to engage, popping off the Graviton Surge into the backlines as well. That's going to force out the Tranquility of the Post Bomb. The Post Bomb doesn't care about Tranquility. It eats right through it, picks up the 3K. Misfits easily just slamming this one home right now. 1:20 on the clock, and they're showing no signs of showing down whatsoever, Uber.
Self-destruct getting off to the top right there as well. TviQ just trying to make sure that reinforcements are going to be a little bit more tested. Woo. But Misfits, they're up to the job. And you're exactly right. I mean, one of the reasons why this Pulse Bomb Graviton Surge combo was so good, because only 50% of the defensive ult potential on the other side of the map can actually mitigate that kind of damage. That burst damage is super important. What do you think about that, Zappos? What we did see that was, the pulse bomb first used by Nesh on Azaya, then ChrisTFer goes in for this Earth Shatter that doesn't quite work out, and then Reinforce turns around.
Yeah, it was the kind of like aggressive play backfired on them, and when the Reinhardt like ultimates behind the corner, it kind of forces your teammate or teams to push forward to do damage on the stunned enemies, and they got baited into
they walked into an Earth
Shatter, and then they just got Zarya ulted, and then Snizzle couldn't eat the bomb, and then they just got rolled.
Yeah. Snizzle wasn't in position. I mean, that pulse bomb as well. I mean, it's so funny because both teams' win conditions are relatively susceptible to D.Va. Right?
Yeah, the D.Va plays.
Like, there is so much more focus on D.Va players in this kind of matchup than there is in any other as well, which is why I'm always on the edge of my seat trying to see if there's, if things are going to be caught out or if D.Va's going to be able to eat stuff here. Is this, no, TviQ? I mean, Farah against this comp.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're doing the spam tactics with Orisa.
The Junkrat, they've done this before.
Yeah.
The eUnited guys told me about this. They played Orisa, Junkrat, Farah. Zappos, do you know about this? Have you seen this before from them?
Yeah, we have seen this. They played this a few times against us in practice, and then the basically idea is that they just overwhelm you with spam, and then they edge forward with the Orisa shields, and then they just get destroyed by the damage.
Oh, Zappos, sometimes death comes on 4 legs, mate. That's the way it works here. The Hulk being used there as well by Orisa just to try and pull everyone up, and TviQ's already found ChrisTFer. tomzeY also going down. Hammers have been literally and figuratively pulled into a vortex of damage, and Misfits are spreading it over there as well. There's not enough bread for the butter they've got, and they're going to keep pressing forward on towards the point. Snizzlenose is going to be tested to try and stop these projectiles coming through. God, what a nightmare.
Yeah, this is actually horrible to play against right now, even when you're running the D.Va. So many projectiles just coming into you thick and fast. It's going to be the bio grenade sent out, but it's the recall popping off as well for Nesh in this moment. Still laying in the damage from TviQ in the upper area. Building up his barrage at the moment. He's searching for the kill. Fischer is going to be popping it off early. Picks up 2 kills, make it 3. What? It's unreal. How does he get away with that? The composition just taking Hammers by complete surprise, and that'll be the take over and out.
That's filthy. You can't do that. That's disgusting.
He's laughing. He's loving it.
I'm looking at you, Johnny.
Versus Misfits coming into this one as Lijang Tower is going to be Hammers Esports' pick. They think they can take Misfits on this control map indeed. Going to be running that triple tank sort of composition. Snizzlenose on the D.Va, going to be getting the aggression right into there in the thick and fast. A lot of charge already on Fischer, pretty impressive. And look at that, the amount of damage going on to Reinforce has to back off immediately for heals.
Yeah, that's right. Again, shields back up. It's going to get broken here as well. You can see TviQ's forced to then to switch to the defense matrix here. So the I guess the defense mechanisms for Misfits are starting to get churned through pretty slowly here, and Hammers weren't taking much damage, so they can continue to exacerbate that advantage, keep that pressure on. Now they push forward. Fischer is almost halfway to his Girbatar, so that's pretty scary. Manneten's actually further ahead, so God knows how much damage he's done. Now the kills start to come through. We've hit that critical mass, and things are starting to explode. Minerals managed to find ChrisTFer here as well, so only 1 kill for the Misfits so far. They're actually down to 4 players, make that 3. Manneten drops. Shaz again. Mineral, the only player actually getting kills here on the side of Misfits, and that's not enough.
Incredible fight by Hammers, all off the back of Fischer really. Stayed predominantly at very high energy throughout the entirety of that engagement. And look at this ultimate charge, already 95%. It's only been a single engagement.
It feels like dive comps is like teams fighting in like, normal atmosphere, and like triple tank comps like you're fighting in jello. Like you're encased in jello, right? It's like super viscous atmosphere. You just can't really get to people. It takes hello. That one got eaten up. That's not ideal. Fischer, oh dear, and look what happens. He has to look on a dismay now, where the rest of his team is caught together, tied up with a nice bow, and Misfits now need to decide what to do with that present. Are they going to send it back with love or not? There's a couple ultimates still here, and Nevix is going to connect with Nesh with that rocket now. Still aggression from Hammers. They're trying to make up for this deficit, but I think they're too far behind the 8 ball here. tomzeY might have to give a bit of ground. Snizzle gets desuited, and yeah, Hammers are in trouble.
Yeah, all you can do at this point is just try and stagnate the point for as long as you possibly can. Just get that maximum amount of cap time, I guess, and the amount of percentage on the board. Still Fischer in the fight, just sending out the bubbles, trying to keep Shaz alive, but I mean, Shaz, that's a late death, very late death, not what you want to be seeing.
Shaz was out in the open there as well, maybe unaware of the fact that he maybe didn't have cover from the rest of his team, or hoping to get some sort of exit kill and maybe, put Misfits in their own little sort of stagger situation. But guess what, Manneten? Manneten doesn't really care about D.Va's defense matrix here as well. He's more than happy to try and cut through that one here. Going to pressure down as much as he possibly can. The charged particle beam is going to be a big part of how he cuts through the mech of Snizzlenose.
And they've got Nevix with his tactical visor, going to be opting to use that almost immediately. That's going to force out the tranquility as well on the side of Hammers as they're trying to move even further forward. Snizzle will be claiming the first kill. And Nevix not really getting too much value out of that tactical visor, not as much as he was really hoping for. It's really all the Snizzlenose show as he is picking up all the kills for his team.
I mean, it's kind of like Zappos was saying earlier, right? It's like you want to force the Transcendence out without using an offensive ultimate there, but then Nevix kind of just gets cut down. And when he's the only DPS like hero on Misfits team, the damage takes a massive dip. He's so susceptible. I'm glad he switches to Tracy because he's so susceptible to Snizzle's D.Va.
Yeah. D.Va is really effective against Soldier.
Right, sound barriers here.
Oh, Manneten, he doesn't want to get this Graviton A. He's going to be careful with it. Long-range Graviton, he doesn't even care. Postum is going to be committed as well into the back lines. And even trade so far between his two teams. Fischer dead and on the floor right now. But it looks like the fight will be going into Misfits' favour. Putting in the damage, Reinforced still holding on to this Graviton surge for now. I doubt he's going to be committing it into these two remaining members of Hammers. And it should be Misfits recontesting and recapping up this point.
Was Manneten forced to Graviton there? I mean, like Zappos, we talked about how that's pretty ballsy just to try and throw it in from that kind of range. Would you do that in that position?
Manneten was staring the D.Va, and the first moment the D.Va used her shift and went away, he grabbed it.
Timed it perfectly, actually.
Yeah,
That's sick. We could see that he was watching as he was at least keeping track of that one thing. Now the grab comes out here. Let's see how it's going to sort of result. It's going to be charge kills, actually. What? Reinforced and ChrisTFer kill each other with the charge. So that must have been so low. That's interesting. Both Reinhardts go the way of the old, and sometimes the wise, and Fischer's going to drop to Manneten now as well. Grab comes out from him. That actually connects here as well. We are really nervous about them getting eaten up, but he's gotten 3 kills. He must have been well charged, and he deals pretty easily. 2 kills, should I say. Gets the D-suit on Snizzle and finishes tomzeY. 79% for Misfits here. Hammers have got to go now.
Absolutely. They've got the ultimates to work with. Misfits really not that much to work with as well. Minnow needs to be playing a bit passive here. If he gets picked off, that's the win condition that they're going to be looking for right now. Hammers moving in. Nesh has that post bomb ready. ChrisTFer with the Earth Shatter. He needs to get a good one off. Doesn't quite connect. Gets blocked off in the midst of the moment. Can he find the damage though? Moving even further forward in. Nesh is just capping the point up meanwhile. Trying to get the backup on the go. Still holding onto this post bomb. Overtime going to be taken down. How does he win the 1v1 against Nevix there? Fischer going to be moving in with the damage as well. He's on 80% charge. Putting in so much damage. 99% overtime. Ticking over, and I think Hammers might just be able to clinch this one out.
Nesh may have done this on his own, to be honest. He went for the 1v1 and he won it out. That's huge. We talk about Tracers not dueling each other all the time, but Nesh has done it. The German pride here in his home country. Huge stuff from him. If he smiled more, he'd look like Voyboy as well. But that was really impressive from him as well. I mean, Zappos, you said like Tracers don't normally want to fight Tracers, but Nesh got the kill. We got the back cap.
So ballsy. And well, he needed to go for the backup attempt to keep the overtime going, but Nesh is on point. First LAN for this guy. First Overwatch LAN, and he just comes out. He's been on fire. You know, they say some players are just completely ramped up to 11 when it comes to playing on LAN and on this setting, and Nesh is one of them. He's just on fire throughout this entire day.
Yeah, he's been really he's been really good at this LAN. Like, really impressive. Like, his first LAN, he hasn't been with the team that long.
Yeah,
he's really
exactly.
Setting up. And like the Tracer, like in King of the Hills, when the point is away from the main fight, then it's a really good tactic to send your Tracer to force some kind of fight to the point, and it distracts the defending team.
So Misfits, instead of sending their team back, are like, oh, okay, well, it's on you, Nevix, now. You need to go and get us out of trouble. They switched to Soldier 76 here now as well, so interesting that Nevix kind of knows he'll be going up against D.Va, but still wants to play this.
So much charge already on Fischer's mark, really. 60%. Nesh is picking up the kill onto Zebbosai. Quite an easy pick-off for him, and he finds the second one with the help of his team. The damage being put in with those Discord orbs. He's just collecting kills all over the place. Add another one to his collection, as General Grievous might say in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, but capping it up now, Hammer's going to be in control of the point.
Yeah, Hammer's showing their experience with the tank comps, and their D.Va, Zarya, Reinhardt composition is really outplaying the Misfits composition at this point. And no one is running the Pharah because they know the enemy is running D.Va.
Yeah, maybe Nevix did play 76 to start with because he was expecting, or maybe trying to, anticipate that D.Va. Didn't come out. Oh, tomzeY, he's in a dangerous position. Yep, it's going to be Manneten sailing over the edge. And even, it looks like TviQ going to get desuited now as well. There's a lot of kills coming out, of course, as Misfits commit themselves to the great abyss.
Yeah, they want a quick reset to reset the fight and not waste any time there. It was a lost fight, then they need to reset and reform.
Is this where it goes wrong for Misfits? That's the question. It seems like they're this composition as well. I mean, they're kind of just trying to go toe to toe with Hammers. And
Yeah, this is really hard point to retake as well with this comp.
yeah, especially with that Zenyatta as well. It's so vulnerable trying to get in there. You can get picked up by so many damn things. Here they're going to go for it anyway. They're going to be the Earthshatter comes down there for reinforce. Fischer right at the back. He's going to grab Sue, but he might not get a chance to use it. No, he keeps himself alive. The shield comes out there on towards his D.Va. He must come forward. He's lost so many teammates, but he goes to grab anyway. This man's going to take matters into his own hands, and no one's going to stop him. He gets 2 caught up in that, maybe even more, in fact, with Snizzle's there. Nesh with 2. And it was a 3v5 situation turned in favour of Hammers. The timing, again, in favour of Fischer. And he makes it do work for him.
What a play by Fischer, just executing them with that Graviton Surge, seeking out the right moment. He realized he was not going to get ate up in the slightest by TviQ. He wasn't in the fight, waiting for the precise moment to go in, secures it for his team, the 3v5 fight, and now Misfits, a change of pace. They're going to be trying to push through this right-hand side. Definitely doable. Much more, I think, easy to push into when you've got the D.Va defense matrix to block up the entire corridor. And they're going to be sending in the Graviton Surge against the wall right now. Only connects onto one. Pulse Bomb gets ate up as well. Still looking to contest this even further here, Uber.
Yeah, but Nesh's Pulse Bomb works out. He finds Zebbosai, and then ChrisTFer turns around. It's a game of one-upmanship, and right now Hammers are the one bringing it down. Nesh with 2, but ChrisTFer really opened that one up nicely with his own Earthshatter. And you could see Nevix was trying to make something happen with that Pulse Bomb combo. He even burst the bubble on ChrisTFer before he stacked the Pulse Bomb, and that got eaten as well. It's like, whatever this guy tries to do, it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah, out of all the King of the Hill maps, I think Lijang Tower Garden is the most important to win the first fight. I think that's the point that's hardest to retake. And when you're running these triple tank heavy compositions, the defending team has a really big advantage on you.
Is it because you have to filter through?
Yeah, you need to filter through. There's a small, both flanks, the left flank and the right flank, are small corridors and small breach that you come through.
Treacherous locations.
Yeah. And then you get wrecked by boobs as well. So it's a really tough map to retake.
And the more vulnerable you are as a hero, i.e. Zenyatta's as well, that's sort of very tough to manage, Bren. But now we're going to be going on towards Command Center here. Misfits again, similar comp. Going to be going with the Tracer here. No 76 nonsense to start with. Hammers, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, even if you got a decent hammer.
Absolutely. Going to be taking the open positioning right now. Shaz in a bit of trouble being forced onto the back grinds, but look at that. Immediately, the peel is there from Snizzlenose with the defense matrix, ready to keep his teammate alive and well. But it's going to be Nevix who claims first blood in this engagement, at least. Still searching for even more. Nesh trying to even out a little bit as well. Right now to fight the positioning. Currently in favor of Hammers, and Fischer is turning up. Look at this. I imagine he's already on about 80% charge, if he's anything to judge from the previous rounds that we've seen, and kills thoroughly going in the favor of Hammers, and it will be a first cap for them once again.
Yeah, both teams lost the Reinhardts, and then Fischer had the bigger charge on Zarya. And Hammers made the first move, and the team who makes the first move usually wins on that situation.
It's funny, once the Reinhardts are down, no one stops TviQ from doing damage. The D.Va doesn't stop it. No one can really prevent that from coming across. So you can see the both Tracers have their priorities, right? This could suck. Oh, Pulse Bomb connects. TviQ going to go very, very low here. The defense matrix comes out, but Nesh wants to try and finish the job. It's unclear if he has managed to do that so far. We're going to go over to ChrisTFer now as well, who's in the Transcendence. No need to use that Earthshatter. Credit to him for holding on to it. TviQ eventually got desuited by Snizzlenose. He went off the edge. And Misfits are struggling to find a start in this round.
Is this a time when you'd like to see the forward hold coming out Hammers here, Zappos?
Yeah, I think they will use the forward hold. Always when the enemy team is running in tanks, the forward hold
close to grab as well.
It's pretty good.
Okay. ChrisTFer is holding on to this Earthshatter, looking for the opportunity, goes for the charge. Doesn't quite connect onto anyone. Reinforce also trying to batter him out. They're using the Tranquility offensively, pushing it out, trying to take the battle. ChrisTFer trying to bait them, but he's not going to fall for that one twice. No siree. Moving in though, Snizzlenose with the self-destruct does collect a kill of his own. Still trading up quite evenly at the moment, as there's already about 60% cap on the board.
Oh, this is a nightmare for Misfits. They've used ultimates. They've used so many. The Transcendence came out so early in the piece, and of course, the sound barrier for Mineral was a factor. And even if Hammers lost that fight, even if they did, they were positioned so far forward that they could have even stored it for a little bit longer just by putting players in. Now they have a Grav, have it at sound barrier as well. Misfits need to go ham. They've got a self-destruct, they've got a pulse, but they've got everything they need for a good Zarya combo. The pieces must be put in the right places.
Ooh.
No, Grav eaten, I'm sure of it, yes. It's not going to be happening for Manneten. His gets chopped up, and even Fischer's is going to work though. That's the best part. Sometimes you got to second guess yourself, but not this time, Bren. Now the pulse bomb comes down. It's all about Nevix finds himself a brace of kills, and Misfits bring themselves back into this fight despite losing the Grav early.
That was unreal by Reinforce. He finds the Earthshatter that they needed, sets it up the kill for Nevix. The pulse bomb was beautiful, laid gently onto Hammers. Hammers' sleeping bodies and brought a swift end to them, and they needed that. They definitely needed that. Time will tell if we will see the reverse sweep now, but they need to turn it around. They've got really not many ults to use here. Zebbosai is close to his own tranquility. Shaz has his own as well if they wanted to use it aggressively, but Nesh getting that entry kill, that's what Hammers need.
That could gut Misfits right now if they try and make this hold. ChrisTFer, though, was going to drop to Zebbosai. Must have dropped his shield or had it broken. But Fischer, again, in a good position to do damage, but he's not well charged up. That's the issue. Nesh has found Mineral. That's a pick. But where's the rest of his team to try and capitalize on this? Reinforcing the rest of Misfits can disengage or just re-engage with an Earth Shatter. It seems to have been effective, and there it is. Also the grab coming in. This time Manneten actually connects one. He got to be feeling good about that one. He's also charged up here. It's combo after combo after combo. These guys are going jumbo wombo to try and claim this round.
Yeah, the breaking point on that fight was when reinforced charged ChrisTFer, and then Sash ulted to try to save ChrisTFer, but didn't manage to do it. And then they was just using ultimates to try to win the fight, but still lost it.
It's not like Dive, because you can really scrutinize the use of the ultimates here as well, and sort of tell whether they were effective or not, because it's easy to see a bad grab, right, or no grab if it gets eaten up. Reinforcing wants to go to the back line here. He wants to do a bit of something. He wasn't knocked down. I can't tell how effective the Earth Shatter was, but it doesn't look like it was a great one from ChrisTFer. He got pulse bombed immediately as he tried to walk forward, and now Nevix doesn't have too much to stop him in the back line. Snizzlenose is trying to do the same. He's trying to reciprocate. He gets on the Zebbosai as well, and Fischer with a grab. Geez, that was a wild one. He just really doesn't give a damn anymore, but it works out. He catches it. Nesh also follows up with a pulse bomb. TviQ gets desuited. Self-destruct comes in over the top to no avail.
Yeah, Nevix doing a decent job of trying to stall this one out for his team, and he might have actually bought enough time for them to try and come back into this. Sends out the pulse bomb, doesn't quite claim the kill that he was looking for, but the recap comes out. Reinforce, sends down the Earth Shatter. It's a last-ditch effort. They need this round right now if they want any chance of winning this map. The overtime ticking over. Self-destruct going to be sent flying straight into Hammers, but the shield is there to defend it.
Shaz off towards the side as well. There's a lot he can do from here, but TviQ got desuited. That could be a problem for Misfits. They're trying to retake this point. They're trying to stall it or do something about it at least. Shaz is being isolated. Snizzle, you can see rushing, scrabbling to try and defend him, and that lets Shaz turn around. TviQ falls down. Misfits tried valiantly. They tried to get back on towards the point. That is a statement being made by the Hammers. They are much stronger on that particular map. And